Welcome to another warm and busy day at the Mining Indaba in Cape Town. Now, the star act this morning was Robert Friedland, the multi-millionaire. He's worth 1.3 billion. He's on the Forbes 400 list. Now, at a time when many investors are sort of running away from investing in certain parts of Africa, he's pouring money into massive copper projects in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, he thinks that zinc is going to be the big mineral of the future. He says the Chinese are putting it in fertilizer. It's also being used in medicine for children. He thinks the zinc price is going to go up heavily. So it's been a very entertaining time with him on stage, but also one interesting thing he did say, he said despite the troubles of South Africa, he said he hoped the country could come to a golden compromise, which was to sort out all its problems to attract foreign investors here. So earlier I spoke to a man with arguably the toughest job in mining right now, Simon Scott, the acting CEO at Lonmin. As you probably know, the platinum producer has suffered terribly in the last 6 months with unrest and also the terrible Marikana massacre which happened back in August. Now, he has got the job now over the next year of turning the company around. He seems to be quite into the job, but let's take a listen to what he had to say.
We've had a very good quarter, so we're very pleased about that. We came back from a very traumatic period in Lonmin's history, 6 weeks of strike in August and September. But the quarter that's just ended, the December quarter, we're very pleased. We've had the safest quarter in Lonmin's history, so all of our safety statistics are better than they've been before. We also, from a production perspective, exceeded our expectations, and our production was in line with quarter 1 in 2012. So it's been very pleasing. We've refinanced the company. In November, we completed our rights issue. So we got in $817 million, and we've paid down our debt and reorganized our balance sheet. So the company is in the position where it's been de-risked, and we're looking to the future. So the steps we've taken are pleasing.
But this, I do follow the mining labour side particularly very closely. It seems that this unrest appears to be rumbling on in even mines like yourself.
We see the labour relations and employee relations as one of the key areas where we've got to find a sustainable solution, and we're absolutely focused on that. So on mine, we're in discussions with all of the unions, AMCU, NUM, UAS and Solidarity, to find ways where structurally we can recognise unions and we can agree wages and have a bargaining unit going forward. That's the key challenge that we need to resolve.
But isn't it the case that due to the turmoil of the last 6 months, a lot of the old rules, they've just gone out the window?
We are finding, and our first quarter indicates that we've been able to re-establish the disciplines, particularly if you look at safety. Safety is a key indicator of how everybody accepts that you need to work in an orderly manner. And the safety statistic is not only a reflection on management, it's a reflection on the whole team, on employees, on taking the view that we need to work in an orderly manner. So we're pleased that the right step has been made, but there's a long way to go, we feel, in order to get a solution. But we're absolutely determined to do our part in finding that solution.
Now, one of the topics I've heard discussed quite a lot at this Mining Indaba is the issue of mechanisation. People are saying that mines should be looking to mechanise now. It might increase the skill of the workers and solve some of the industrial problems. I know in the past that's been one of the dreams of Lonmin, to mechanise even Marikana, but how likely is that now?
Mechanisation's been very challenging in this industry, Chris. You'll know that because of the nature of the reef, it's a thin reef. It's a waving reef at times, and Lonmin did at one time look to mechanisation in order to improve its operational position. It's something we've stepped back from. We are following a conventional approach, and it's not something that we envisage growing significantly in our operations in the future. I think there are ore bodies that do lend themselves to mechanisation, but not typically in the Western Bushveld, unfortunately.
And what sort of targets now? I mean, bearing in mind you're trying to reduce your debt, you're trying to plan for the future and recover, but what sort of targets are you looking at for production in 2013?
Chris, we've paid down our debt. That was part of the rights issue, was to raise the $800 million and pay down the debt and de-risk the company. So from a financial position, the company is de-risked. We've set targets for the current year. The production target we set for the current year in terms of raising the capital was 680,000 ounces of production. We're slightly ahead of our plans, but we are maintaining the guidance for the current year in terms of that it's a risky environment that we operate in. So we're confident about our guidance, but we're not reviewing it at this stage.
And how does that compare to previous years, 680,000, and what are the chances you may exceed it?
We envisage getting back to a run rate of around about 750,000 ounces per annum in our Q3. And that was where we were at last year, and that was where we were at prior to the strike. So that's what our plan says. We envisage keeping this company at that sort of level for the next 2 to 3 years, and that's what our capital plan is envisaged on. But if prices improve, and when prices improve, we certainly have the ability in a shaft like K4, which we have on care and maintenance at the moment, but it's a new shaft, it's a shaft with wonderful infrastructure, and it'll provide growth for us in the future at the appropriate time.
And what about yourself? You've said in the press that you don't wish to be considered long-term for the top job. What is the company doing about finding a successor for Ian Farmer?
The board outlined that Ian stepped down in December, and the board's outlined a program of finding a permanent CEO. I'm absolutely committed to acting as CEO until they find the right person, and the team is supportive, and we are doing a good job under the circumstances, as you can see from our Q1 results. But when the new CEO is found and that person is in place, then I'll move back to doing my job as CFO.